What's up, guys? This is Bullvyi the Fell-Handed, and today we are on Sand River. Standard battle. The Greens have taken the western spawn, and the Reds have taken the eastern spawn. Now, if you will notice, I am in a vehicle I do not normally utilize. The Conquer gun carrier, tier 10 British artillery. Very nasty piece of work here. Quite a while ago, a friend of mine and I had these bad boys, and we decided, wouldn't it be funny if we loaded them up with nothing but premium ammunition? That's right, 8,000 silver apiece. They are especially splashy. They have a very large splash radius. They do not do any additional damage. They just do their damage over a larger area. Now, keep in mind this tank already has a pretty decently sized splash area, and this is just going to make it larger. Moving on. Now, a lot of you know I am not a fan of artillery. Don't really know a whole lot about it. So I am going to set up in the areas I know your typical artillery players like to set up in. Now, the range is capped on this particular vehicle at 1,000 meters. If you try to go over 1,000, it ends up flattening out quite a bit. Now, just FYI, for someone who may not know, you can actually toggle your aiming. If you go to your options, you can toggle this on or off. That way you won't actually have to hold the trigger the entire time. It works for tanks as well. So we're going to try to put a round on the Roomba right here. Looks like we deviated, but we deviated in just the right way, and we kind of clipped him there. Now this tank does have quite an angle. My allies right here, my compadres in yellow, are requesting fire up in this area right here, and I'm going to see if I can put some rounds on target, possibly give them some support fire. Now this tank does not have a very solid DPM. Very slow reload. Not a lot you can do about that, unfortunately, aside from running food, brothers in arms, and vents. Now, moving on, we're going to try to get some good shots in here. There's a cluster of mediums just kind of dying and dying to be shot at right there. We ended up tapping one. We didn't really kill them, but we did let them know we're thinking about them. Now, if you are looking for DPM, this would not be the vehicle for you. Actually, I don't believe any tier 10 artillery would be for you. Even the Bad Chat 155-58, which I own, doesn't really have super great DPM because the reload is 65 seconds long for a 4-round clip. I would probably go for your tier 9 artilleries, the 53, 55, or any of the other, really any of the other 9s are pretty good. The 155, 55 is pretty good, the French line, so on and so forth. Moving on, so we're back loaded right here. We're going to try to put some rounds on target. Now you will notice I'm very careful here to make sure I get good shots on the target. The reason for this is the DPM is so slow, like I was discussing, but at the same time, you know, your round can technically land anywhere in that circle, so that's why you want to make sure you have a 100% tight reticle. And you know what? I know a lot of the aim times for a lot of vehicles, so I have an idea how long it's going to take to aim. And essentially what that translates to is when they pull up, I know about how long they're going to sit there. So you just want to kind of follow a target and get the cadence of when they're going to pull out, when they're going to fire, so on and so forth. And that kind of gives you a better idea of what's going on. Now, because of the slow DPM of this tank, you really need to make every single shot count. You need to make sure you're not messing around or anything. You just really need to make sure you're putting out everything that you can to make yourself useful to the team. You don't necessarily want to be one of those artillery players that go out there and not necessarily pull their weight. Now, I know a lot of people have a lot of feelings on artillery. I know myself one of them, but I think it's like any other vehicle, and I do believe it takes skill. because some people can play artillery and be very good at it, and some others, like myself, can be not so good at it. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to try to put a round here on target. We managed to connect with him. Not really getting any good definitive hits. Not really, properly connecting like I would like to see. I would really like to see something good, a good broadside hit. And we have yet to get those yet. Not really, the accuracy on this particular artillery isn't really fantastic. The BC 155-58 is the best, the highest accuracy with the highest aim time, although compadre there got a good shot at a moving target. Bravo for him. But the Batchat has the highest accuracy and the highest aim time. So it's very quick. However, it doesn't have much splash damage, and each of these artilleries are going to give you something different. Granted, I myself, may not be the perfect one to discuss the pros and cons of what arty. So we kind of made a shotgun round right there as it's coming down to the wire. Somehow we managed to connect. I'm pulling up right here in this little divot. I'm kind of hoping if I pull up enough, there won't be any shots on me, but I kind of feel like I'm gonna get shot. Yeah, got shot right there. Now the funny thing is, I have actually bounced rounds in that particular vehicle before, which is just insane. And not just a few rounds. I have bounced 1,015 points of damage in a round before. It's kind of amusing. So just throwing that out there. It's a tough tank. I'm not necessarily saying you need to angle your artillery. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Now, as for the rest of the game here, obviously, I think we all know which way this is going, and the direction is south. But you know what, guys? That's the thing. Some of these games you're going to lose. Some of them you're going to win. Just go out there and do everything you can. Now, if you will look at the after-action report here, you will notice I did a considerable amount for an artillery of assist damage, which I thought was funny. We ended up doing 32-37 with 1746 assists. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Check the description box below for other YouTube channels like mine, as well as the Bullvyi the Fair-Handed Facebook page. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.